Hiya, hi, hello. Good morning. Hey, Anne. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Zana. Hi. Nice to see you all. Well, I can't see you, but you know what I mean. Nice to see the names pop up. And there's 7 of you online already, which is fabulous. So thank you for that. It's the start of a new, 9. Wow. It's the start of a new round today, round 53. And it will soon be, in April, 6 years since I started doing this online when lockdown occurred. So I'm still going. I'd like to say still going strong, but it's a lot quieter than it used to be. But, it was unprecedented times, wasn't it, when we were in lockdown? So everything was sort of exaggerated a little bit. So it's the start of a new round. We're using the Pop Up Petals stamp set and dies. There may be sometimes when I use a different greeting. So if you want to change it up, the greetings in the Pop Up Petals have very much a thanks and a sort of gratitude vibe going on. So if you're wanting a happy birthday, if you're wanting a thank you, hey Sue, if you're wanting a thank you or a congrats and things like that, well, sorry, there is thank you in there, then just substitute. If the greetings are a little bit soppy for you, which often they can be, then just substitute that out. Hey Betty, well, I wasn't struggling with technology, but I've been up since 6 and I wake up quite early on a morning now, and I absolutely love, I really do love getting up early now. I've completely changed to how I used to be about maybe 10, 15 years ago. And maybe it's an age thing, maybe it's a menopause thing, I don't know. But I wake up a few times in the night, not for bathroom visits or anything, but I was awake at 2:47 because I always look at my clock. I don't know why. And I do get back to sleep quite quick, but then I woke up at 5:15 and I couldn't really get back to sleep. I tried for quite some time and I got up at 6. And so Beulah and I were chilling downstairs. Craig had a bit of a lie-in, bless him, he was shattered. And so Beulah and I chilled out downstairs and I did a few social media things, but I really love it. So I thought, I've got loads of time this morning. I've been up since 6. And then before I knew it, it was 9:30. And I hadn't got everything set up and done my technology side of things that I need to do. And then the internet went down. So we've had a few technical issues here as well. I must remember to take that headphone jack out when I switch the camera, because I've had a couple of problems for the last couple of weeks. Bathroom visits will come. I knew I'd get a comment from you, Betty. I'm sure they will. So yeah, I'm excited to do this. So I got all the rest of the cards finished off last week, and I managed to post out, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and I hoped that you'd get it Saturday, or if not, yesterday. So I do hope that everything arrived in time. Yes. Right, so I've realised I've left my Stampin' Blends on my desk. So let's get started. We're not actually using the pop-up element today. We're not actually using the dies at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a combination. I think I've got 2 cards with the pop-up dies, which are happening towards the end of the course. And I will just say, oh, you got yours yesterday, Sandra. Yeah, because you're in Northern Ireland, I sort of allow a little bit. And Anne got her Saturday. Oh, wowzers. That was good. Yeah, I think it takes a little bit longer, Sandra, which I was very conscious of. So, yes, what was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. yeah, we're doing the pop-ups later on. Oh, I know what I was remembering. So next week is half term, and I've got an event in my studio next Tuesday morning. So I want to ask a consensus that there are 10 people who've paid to do the class. I know Sue has an issue and can't do Tuesday afternoons. So would people prefer if and I'll go with the majority, if I was on Tuesday afternoon, say about 2 o'clock, or if I did Tuesday evening at about 7 o'clock. So if you can let me know. Don't worry, Betty, just watch and chit chat, because that's as important as the rest of it. So do let me know about next week. So Craig's just going, bye, Craig. He's going on his bike. He's going out on his bike. So are you coming in? Are you coming in? Say hello.
Bye, darling.
Oh, bye, darling. Love you. Go well.
You go well too.
Yeah. See ya.
That's good.
Bye. Okay, so I'll keep a lookout on your messages about the time. Right, so come and sit down, Beulah. Daddy's going out. Come and sit down. Good girl. Good girl. Right, so let me switch the camera around. Okay. I remember to take the headphone jack out, so I'm hoping that has worked this time. And you can see my desk. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. And this is the card that we're going to do today. And I'm going to do a little bit of a wreath card. Well, it's not really fully circular, but I thought it might be nice to try and explore the stamps. So I thought this was a cute way of doing it. And the colours that I'm using, I'm just picked these because they do match some of the papers and I've kept them out. But today's card, you can really use any colours. But if you're going to use the circles that I've given you, one of them is Fresh Freesia. So the colours I've used on here are Fresh Freesia, Daffodil Delight, Berry Burst, and Old Olive. Okay, so I might change it up. I might actually stamp these flowers the other way around. Okay, so yeah, and I've used the stamp set, which is the January product of the month, which is still available. Oh, and I've got 12 on. Please do say hi if you're watching. Well, of course you're watching because you're on, but you know what I mean. Please do say hi. And if you're watching on replay, do leave me a comment. I missed a comment actually, so I need to go back because I don't always get notifications. So in your kit, you've basically just got a basic white card base, a Fresh Freesia circle, which I think is 2 inches, and that's 1 3/4 in white. Now, what I should have popped in, and I just didn't think, and you may want to grab a piece of extra white, is when we've coloured through, it does come through on the card. So you may want to put a piece of white there. I should have really thought about that and given you that, but I'm sure you can sort that out. Oh, we've got 14 on now. Thank you. Please do say hi if you're watching live. Right, so this is it's a bit trickier, and what I would advise is that you actually open up your card base like that and stamp on it flat. Okay, because otherwise if you're stamping on it like that, it just pops up all the time. So yeah, we're going to stamp on it like that. Now, these are the stamps that we're using. They're in the new packaging. What I will say is just make sure you're putting them away. I don't want to comment on, you know, I do like the old stamp boxes, but I'm getting used to these now. They are good for space, but it's just a bit different. So I think the great thing about this stamp set is I'm just looking at it, and there's 16 stamps in, and I think I have used every stamp apart from maybe one of the greetings. I've used every image. Yep, I have. So that's really good, because how often do we do that? You know, I hear people saying, oh, I like that, but I wouldn't use that stamp and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So what we're going to do is, you can pop the circle, I'm using the white one, okay, sort of in the middle, all right, and take a pencil. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to lower it to put my head over so I can make sure it's in the middle. And because I've used the smaller circle, you shouldn't see this because the bigger circle will cover it, and the stamps are going to cover it anyway. I'm not drawing round it. I'm just doing, no, Beulah, don't pinch paper. I'm just doing like north, south, east, west. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. You don't really need to see it, but I've just done 4 little dots, and it just gives me an idea of the space. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, and I did mine first, and I didn't think about it properly, and you probably will be best. It's not really spaced out very well, so this is always my practice one, and I learn lessons. So I'll probably do, you know, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, quarter past, quarter to. Hey, Anne. And do it that way and see how that works. So we're going to use, let me show you from the front picture. We're going to use this stamp first. And I'm using basic grey. We have had internet issues this morning, so I'm hoping that it behaves. So now I know that that little dot is going to be underneath. I can actually probably do this a bit higher, but I don't really want the stems popping out. So maybe the stems I want to be hidden by the circle. So I'm going to stamp that like that. And I'm going to do the other one opposite. I'm going to hope that this all works out nice. And then you guessed it. Now you've not got as much room at this side because of the width. There, okay. So it looks a bit naff like that because it's there's too much space, but we're going to use another image. And this is the first time I'd used it on this card. It's this one here. It's a bit like a tulip that's sort of opened up. And I'm going to stamp this in the middle. Oh, missed a bit. If I had the swanky new stamp positioner, I could have sorted that. You can get your hands on it this month if you join my team. You will have a little bit of foliage that touches each other. Oh, I've missed it again. Julie. I've got a bit of double stamping. Never mind, never mind. Oh, I've made a pattern in the middle. And then hopefully we should take this, and then we've got our little image there. Now, if you did want to fill, if you didn't feel that it looks right, what you can do, because it looks a bit square or a bit like a diamond, yeah, what you could do is, and I'm going to have a go, you could take this small one, this individual one, and you can fill it with that. So should we see what that looks like? I've committed to it now. There we go. That's filled that. Wow, I've gone to town here on this one. Woo! And what I can do is I can just move that over a little bit and then it's a little bit more evened out. Actually, that looks quite nice. So I'm going to move that back. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. And I apologise in advance if you get my head in shot. But I have had my roots done. So I'm hoping it doesn't offend anyone. I'm just going to have a slurp of my coffee. Well, I've got 16 on. Please do say hi if you're watching. This is the most ever for ages. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you don't already. Now, we have got this stamp now. If you love colouring in with your blends, then go to town. I don't know, to the public, Betty, I'm not sure. They've said at a later date, so I've not even got one yet because I just forgot to order it with everything I've got going on with my parents. And then it was my mum's 80th last weekend as well, so it's all go. So there's this stamp here which fills in this first bunch that was stamped, so I'm going to use that, and I think I'll switch it, and I think I'm going to use Berry Burst for the outer leaves and Daffodil Delight for the inner ones. Okay, so if you want to have a practice, grab a bit of scrap, or if you're working on a grid paper, I've purposely left some scrap here, and I'm going to show you and work out, because sometimes I don't get it spot on. So I'm going to stamp another one just there. And what the best thing to do is look at the holes, look at the centres, not the holes, but the holes on here. And this one's a bit more squished, the one on the left, and the one on the right is a bit more round. So what I do is I sort of try and line those up. And it's a bit off, but it doesn't matter. But it fills in like that. Okay. Now be very, very careful not to get ink everywhere on this. Right, sorry for the headshot. Oh, that's way off. Oh, look at that one. Should we do it again to fill it in? That's even way off even more, but never mind. I think I need to master this a little bit more. That one's better, but that one's right. My problem is I'm getting one side right, and then I'm so. Right, that's my best one. I'm getting the hang of it now. So if you think you've got one side right, just check out the other one, and maybe just adjust it. Okay. So the next stamp we're going to use is this one that looks like 4 dots. Hey, Jane. You're closing up on my mum. Oh, bless you. Well, Betty, all I'm going to say is kudos to you, because my mum wouldn't be able to come on here and be watching a YouTube and leave comments. She doesn't even have a smartphone. She has one of those old phone where you have to press, like, to get A, you have to press it once. If you wanted B, you press it twice, you know. So me and my boys were trying to convince her on Sunday that she needs a smartphone, but she is not having any of it. Okay, so these dots do the centres. I'm using Daffodil Delight, which is actually a little bit orangey. Once you do the centres, if you went a bit pear-shaped, it does actually improve the look. And if you've not gone brilliant, you can always, if you've got a matching blend, you can fill in with the blends if you've got any petals that have gone a bit awry. Okay, so we've filled those in. So it's building up quite nicely. Oh, my original, the leaves were daffodil, the petals were Daffodil Delight, and the insides were Berry Burst. Okay. Oh, don't worry, Jill. We're always here. Right, so now I am going to take my fresh freesia and I'm going to fill in that sort of tulipy stamp with, it has a matching one to fill in. And what I like to do is I've got all my stamps here to the side of me on a piece of paper. Well, it's actually on my to-do list at the bottom, so I'm not losing them and sticking them randomly on my desk somewhere. Okay, so this one's a nice one to do. So we're just going to fill in the tulip with this. This one's a little bit easier. Okay, now, sadly, that extra flower that we stamped, look at that, we've got like a flower shape in the middle, a weird shape. That extra flower doesn't have a matching, you know what, stamp. So we're going to colour. So I've grabbed some blends and I think I might do them yellow and the middles fresh freesia. So I'm just going to check this is fresh freesia, dark fresh freesia. Let me see how dark it is, because sometimes, yeah, I might do that. Yeah. So I'm going to do the middles. I might actually do them dark and light and do a bit of shading. So they've got like little dots on them. So I'm just going to colour over the dot side with the dark. I'll show that. So I've just done like half of each of the circles. Can you see that there? And then I'm going to go over with the light. It might not make any difference. It might not look blended, but it's just a little token gesture. Now, if I finish this card today without getting any surplus ink anywhere, I'll be very proud of myself. Okay, so I've done that. And then I'm going to do the daffodil. Now, that daffodil is quite dark, so I'm thinking that needs a new, I need a new blend there. I've got a new pack of daffodil actually. These are my old, it's a bit dark, so let me grab that new pack that I've got. Some of these blends I've had 5 years or more, so the fact that they're, and I know that because they've got the old writing on them. So I'm just going to colour these with the light. I just want to lighten it up because the centres are quite dark on the other flowers and the berry burst is quite dark. I might add a little touch of Mind you, they're so small, these petals, that I don't think it's going to make much difference. There we go, that didn't take long. And then when we add the green, the old olive, it will all I just draw over the lines on the stems. It's actually nice just to do some stamping, not getting the die cutting machine out today. And I wanted you to get to know the stamps before we start working with the dies. I do try and think about how I put these sessions together, so to try and build up people's confidence when they've got new products. There we go. It's upside down, but okay, so finished all that, and that is going to go there. Ooh, look at that, fancy. And then we have the circle. I felt like saying circle of life then. And I'm going to use the, yeah, the thank you's a nice size for this. It's the 1 3/8 circle. Oh, I've not put my butterflies on yet. Oh, what's that? I've done it. I've ended up. Where did that sneak in from? Oh no, it's a speck. It's not an ink. Oof. Oh. Right, I'm going to stamp thank you with Berry Burst. Okay. And for those of you who are late to the session, this is the product of the month from January, and it's still available. I did a lovely private thank you, Betty. I did a lovely private class on Saturday for a group of 9 ladies who were brand new, and they were brilliant. And I did the kit, the birthday fancy kit. It came out a few months ago, last summer I think it came out, and it's the one with the cake stands and all the little cupcakes and things. I'm not going to stick that on now. I'm just going to do any butterflies. And they were brilliant. They'd never done stamping before, and they did so well, and they loved it. And then they went over to Miss Butterfingers over the road for some afternoon tea. So it was lovely. So hopefully they'll come back. And my new coffee and card, I've only done 2 weeks. First week I had 4 ladies, and 3 of them couldn't come second time. But last week I had 5. And then my next one's not till the 4th of March because of school holidays. And I've already got 7 booked on for that, so that's great. Right, I might just put 3 little butterflies. And these, you do have to colour them in. There's not a stamp to fill these in. So I'm just going to colour down this near the centre with the dark, and then the rest of the wings with the light fresh freesia. I think it is one of the best ones. I mean, how many cards do you get in it? I think it's either 10 or 12 cards. Do you know, it might be, or is it 9? Because there's 3 designs. I can't remember anyway. But the stamps are lovely. And, this, you know, they say things like sweetest birthday wishes, which is because it's cakes. It's a Lost Lagooning little mini ink pad you get in. And it's just a really lovely kit. And I just thought for some new people, and they were going over to Miss B's for afternoon tea, so I thought it's the perfect kit for it, and I loved it, so that was good. And I'd also made every card up in that kit and had them on display, so I could show them. They could copy. Oh, my glue's stuck up. The other thing I like about it as well is I'm not a massive fan of those little glue dots, and you get a roll of double-sided tape in it. So I did put some wet glue, like I've just been using, on the table to substitute with the glue dots, because I'm just not a massive fan of them. But I just find it easy with the tape. I'm just trying to make sure that this is stuck down. There we go. You could always add... Oh, thank you, Debbie. And I did this one all by myself. I didn't copy it. You could always add some little gems, little diamantes, rhinestones, if you wanted to. But I just wanted you to get to know the stamps and how they work. So that was the purpose. That was the purpose of this card this week, for you to get to know. And then I think next week I'm going to bring in the dies, but I'm not going to start with the pop-up just yet. I mean, if you've got the stuff, you can do, you know, you can steam ahead and do what you want. And some of you've probably already started to use it. So that was my original, and then obviously it's a little bit more woo. So next week we're starting to use the dies, and we're using one of the stamps as a background. So this is next week's card, and we're going to do some die cutting and a bit of background stamping. So a little bit of a low-key card next week. Fresh freesia. Whilst I'm on, the last chance list has been updated, so there are a few extra bargains on there if you want to take a look. It was updated last week and I completely forgot to let people know. There we go, there's this week's makes. And we're just 11:05. I thought it might take a while today, but it actually comes together a little bit quicker than you think that. So the important thing is now for Julie is when I finish on here, I'm going to very carefully put all my stamps away. They're all here together on a little pile on my paper pad, and I'm going to put them all away. Okay, so thank you for watching. We're on 20 people now. I've never had 20, I don't think, for ages. So thank you for tuning in. any info about ordering, just send me a message or comment on the video and I will get back in touch with you. And the details of my online store are in the description of this video. So I'll be back next Tuesday morning with the card I've just shared with you. But in the meantime, if you've got any questions, just fire me a message. If you want to book on any events, be that in person, yes, put your stamps away. Yes, Miss Jane, I will. If you want to book any events, then please do get in touch and I will see you next week. Have a great week. As Anne says, have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.